19th. But let's talk about a little better baseball, Andrew. Why don't we? Let's talk about our New York Yankees. Best team in baseball, great pitching. Offense has been kind of lackluster the last few games, but it's been good enough. It's been good enough. They have the best record in all of baseball. They're 4.5 games ahead of the second place team, Tampa Bay Rays. And in May, that is a very good lead to have. Andrew, why don't you get into what you like about the Yankees so far this season?
What is there not to like about the Yankees, honestly? The biggest question mark going into the season was how good is the offense going to be, and then how good is the starting rotation going to be. Offense did start off very bad, but since then, since their slow start, whatever it was, first 10 games, they've been incredible. Aaron Judge, this dude, he seems to hit home run almost every other game.
18 man.
18 now, by far the most in the league. I think second is 14's Mookie Betts. 1.113 OPS. Anthony Rizzo's been incredible also. 11 homers. Stanton on the IL right now, but he's tearing the cover off the ball. Top of the charts for all the StatCast metrics. 150 OPS plus. DJ Glaber have been crazy resurgences. And then onto the pitching staff. Garrett Cole, obviously 36 million a year guy, hasn't been the best on this rotation. Probably not even the second or third best.
It hasn't been bad at all, though. Hasn't been bad at all. He's been pretty good.
Hasn't been bad. 3.12 ERA. He's been pretty good. But Nestor Cortez, man, this dude, every time he steps on the mound, you're just like, yeah, this guy was a 6 ERA, 5.6 ERA reliever in 2019. And now to have the lowest ERA in the American League at 1.7.
As a starter.
10 Ks per 9, 2 walks per 9. Might be the Cy Young leader right now. Right now, he'd probably start the All-Star game, which is crazy to think about.
I'd put him behind Verlander right now, but it's very close. It's very close.
After Verlander's last start, giving up 6 runs, I don't really know.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, and then Jameson Taillon, obviously, he's been great, but very under the radar, too. 2.47 ERA. Severino really looks like he hasn't even skipped a beat ever since he came back. It's really like his first time consistently pitching since 2018.
Yeah, missed two complete seasons. Unbelievable.
Yeah. More than that, 2019, 2020, most of 2021.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Pretty much 3 years. 2018, obviously, wasn't even the same pitcher the second half of the year. So, and then the bullpen. The bullpen's been overall. Chapman has had his little struggles lately now he's hurt. But Clay Holmes, man, this dude, 22 straight scoreless innings, 24 innings. I don't even know how the Yankees just found this. I don't know how Cashman keeps doing it with these hidden gems. This dude is a reliever of the year, and nobody knew who this guy was at all in July last year.
No, nobody did. I didn't even know who he was. I knew more of the guy that the Yankees traded him for than I knew of him. And he had more major league experience than the guy that they traded to the Pirates for him. That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Overall, the Yankees 23-14, very comfortable 5.5 game lead here, as we said.
33 and 14.
33, my bad. 33-14. Very comfortable 5.5 game lead as we sit here at the end of May. And we talked about them obviously in our AL preview. I didn't have the highest expectations. I said they're probably a third or fourth place team. I didn't believe in the offense a ton. Starting rotation obviously had a little bit of question marks that here and there. Garrett Cole, we obviously knew was going to be solid. We probably thought he was going to be better than he's doing right now. But overall, this team has, blown me away. But Will, what would you say is the biggest need?
The biggest need, I'm so happy you asked me that question. Before I answer it, I just want to say I had higher hopes than you did, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. I thought they were going to be good. I thought they were going to be better than most people thought, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. They've been absolutely amazing. And the one area, honestly, Mendez, I'm going to go with two. I'm going to go with two things. One, a little more need than the other, just because in the second area that I'm going to talk about, there's guys that are injured and they're going to come back. But the biggest need for this team is a consistent left fielder or just outfielder in general. Aaron Hicks, Joey Gallo, not getting it done. They are just not getting it done in that lineup, and it hurts them. It hurts them. At least Gallo makes it up to the defense, but Aaron Hicks, we went to a game when they played Toronto, and he hit a home run, and you were like, just wait for it, man. You know, I'm banking on Aaron Hicks, and I believed you because he played so well. And I went on one-on-one the show at WFUV, and I talked about it a little bit. And I said what Aaron Hicks needs to do is he needs to be in the leadoff spot because he walks a lot and he gets on base. And a lot of the guys that the Yankees had behind him were hitting really well and driving in runs. Aaron Boone started doing that, and the Yankees scored a little more runs. Now Hicks isn't doing anything. He's not walking as much as he usually does. He's not hitting at all.
Not fielding.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Fly balls.
I went to the game against Baltimore where Garrett Cole started, Adley Rutschman's first game in Yankee Stadium, and somebody hit a double down the line. I don't remember who it was. It may have been Trey Mancini, but Aaron Hicks just jogged his way to the ball. It was going to be a double regardless, but I mean, I don't know if you could have taken any longer to get a ball in. It's just, it's unbelievable. I don't know what he's doing out there.
Yeah,
it's just, he is a liability on both sides of the ball. At least on one side, you could be good and you could still have a job, but you're a liability on both sides of the ball. That's just not going to cut it anywhere.
Yeah, I've been a huge Aaron Hicks believer for a while, but I just have to say at this point, the guy is one of the worst UZRs, which you don't know. It's a stat measuring, it's a defensive stat, advanced stat. He's one of the worst UCRs for center fielders. When you're doing that and you have under 600 OPS and don't have as good of an arm, fielding, like he doesn't even have as good of an eye as he used to anymore. He's chasing more pitches.
It's terrible.
I don't know, man. I think it's time for Hicks to go.
The Yankees need a bat out there in left field. I think they could sacrifice the defense because Judge, he's been an incredible center fielder. Giancarlo, I'm not going to call him incredible, but he is a lot better of a defender than people give him credit for when he is out there, when he's healthy. The Yankees have really been missing his bat over this last series. They scored 7 games in the first game of that. They scored 7 runs in the first game of that Tampa series, but they couldn't really get anything going. The rest of the series, they really missed Giancarlo. He was swinging a hot stick before he went on the injured list, but I think he'll be back in no time. But I definitely think getting a bat in left field would be good. I've heard a lot of people talking about Juan Soto. Don't think it's unrealistic, but at the same time, I think it's a little crazy. So take it what you will with that. Not unrealistic, but still kind of crazy. You're going to have to give up a whole lot to get Juan Soto right now. Might as well just wait until he's a free agent. But honestly, getting Juan Soto is such an off-season kind of thing because if you get Juan Soto, you're probably not going to keep Aaron Judge. No way you're going to keep both of them. There's just no way. I mean, unless you're going to pay Juan Soto, Giancarlo, Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, and then the rest is just going to be filled with whatever. You're already paying DJ LeMahieu. He doesn't have a contract like Cole, Stanton, and Judge, but he's still getting paid a decent amount of money. You're going to be paying Anthony Rizzo $16 million a year. It's all going to depend on what Hal Steinbrenner decides to spend on. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't really have any options in my head right now with who they can go with. I definitely do not want Brett Gardner back out there.
Andrew
Benetendi. Cool to have him back. I like that. Benintendi is a very solid bat. He's also a pretty decent defender. But is that someone the Royals would be willing to part ways with? I don't know because he's not that old. He's not that young, but he's not that old. I do like that though. That's a good one to just blurt out there.
I think it's a decent option. Just keep in mind when the deadline rolls around.
I've always been a big Andrew Benintendi guy. I was actually so happy he got traded from the Red Sox. It was a little bittersweet because you don't get to see him you don't get to see him play as much. Same with Mookie Betts, but it's a lot easier to root for him when he's not on the Red Sox. Same exact deal with Mookie Betts. The 2018 team that won the World Series, I had a lot of guys I really liked watching, and it's kind of tough to root for them when they're killing the Yankees, especially when they play for the Red Sox. But Andrew Benintendi, he'd be a solid fit in left field for the Yankees. Another area I'd like for them to address, and not severely, because as I said before, I got into what I think the Yankees need, is the bullpen. I think they can add another arm, just one. They don't need to go crazy. You're going to get Chapman back. You're going to get Loizaga back, but you're not going to get Chad Green back. You're going to miss those innings are going to be gone now. You could probably get somebody. You don't have, like I said, you don't have to go so crazy on getting a big lockdown bullpen guy because Clay Holmes has been that big lockdown bullpen guy. Loizaga hasn't been the same as he was last year, but he's still not terrible. A lot of the guys in the bullpen, they've been very good. Give me one more arm, and maybe if you're really feeling it too, get another starting pitcher because who knows what you're going to get out of that starting rotation in August. They're pitching really well right now, but who knows how they're going to be feeling. This team could benefit from having a six-man rotation down the line if they continue to win and continue to pile on those games ahead of all the teams in the AL East. A six-man rotation may not be the worst option to give your five guys rest because all five of them have been amazing. And I'm very happy you mentioned how under the radar Jameson Taillon has been. I mentioned that on WFUV's baseball podcast, Nosebleeds, the latest edition. I was saying how Jameson Taillon has been the most underrated. We talk about Nestor Cortez being underrated, but I'm going to be honest, he's not underrated anymore. You're not underrated if you have the lowest ERA in all of baseball. His salary may say that he's underrated, but he's been very consistent in showing that, hey, he's pretty legit. But Jameson Taillon, he's come out here in at least the last three starts all season, he's been good. But the last two or three starts, he's really come out here and he's balled out. He pitched phenomenally against the White Sox. He pitched well against the Rays. He's just been really, really sharp, and I'm very, very happy that he's found his groove with the Yankees.
Yeah, well, I think you make a good point about, filling left field. I think that's definitely could be an area of need, but I do think that Joey Gallo will pick it up at some point. I think that will fill our need. Yeah, Aaron Hicks definitely an issue there. We'll find something. We have depth in the organization, but I really think that our biggest need right now is I think we need just like you said, get another starting pitcher. I know that was probably third below bullpen and left fielder, but if you look at our rotation right now, yeah, it's good, but I don't really see much depth. Luis Gil's out for the year. All our guys in the minors don't really have a ton of experience. I think the odds are one of these guys, the sad reality is one of these guys are probably going to go down, probably won't be ready for the playoffs, and we're going to need another starting pitcher. Martin Perez is one guy I've kept my eye on. There's obviously going to be more options as we see which teams are good, which teams are not. But I think getting another starting pitcher, another scary guy you want in the playoffs behind Cole and Nestor and Sevy. That's to make this team serious.
I don't think, Andrew, you have to go crazy. I think Martin Perez is a solid option for this team. In recent years, they've had to get a much bigger level of an arm to push them through the playoffs. Remember, 2017, they had to get Sonny Gray. That was a bigger level arm. And I don't think this rotation is going to need that, but they're going to need a guy, especially, I'm so happy you mentioned Luis Gil as well, not being able to be that sixth man. That's going to hurt them. That's going to hurt them a lot. And nobody realizes that yet. This starting rotations are not going to be this good for an entire season. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And I hate to say it, he was very good. I just don't expect this to happen again. JP Sears, you can't expect JP Sears to be as sharp as he was against the White Sox as a six man. No knock on JP Sears at all. I'm just saying you're going to need a sixth guy. But for the Yankees, as we were saying, Andrew, best team in baseball. For both of us, we hope that they continue to keep rolling and keep that nice big lead, or solid lead, not huge, but a solid lead in the American League East, and just keep playing good baseball. But now we're gonna move on